Okay, morning and welcome to this meeting of the Cabinet. We've got apologies from the leader this morning, so I'll be chairing the meeting, but I think we're present correct. So can we move on to the minutes and read those as appropriate? Chair's announcements. I just have one thing to bring from the Chair's announcements. Following contact from various environmental groups regarding fossil fuel divestment from pensions, the controlling group took the decision to support divestment from fossil fuels in the West Yorkshire Pension Fund in a measured way. So I'm announcing that today because it is our intention to formally make that into council policy, and that will be done in the very near future. So that's the only announcement we have to make this morning. There are no urgent items to add to the agenda. If you do have a declaration of interest, if you could please make a verbal declaration of the appropriate item and complete the relevant form for committee services. We'll move on to the key decision reports. Over to you, Maureen, for the procurement of the district-wide children's public health.
Yes, I'm not sure if the microphone's working. Anybody can hear me? Yeah. Right, this paper relates to the procurement for a period of 5 years with an option to extend for a further 5 years for the 0 to 19 Children's Public Health Nursing Service. The services provide the right support to families during the early years of a child's life. The Healthy Child Programme, recently modernised by Public Health England, sets out an evidence-based programme of best practice to be led by specialist community public health nurses. The programme will assist the Council in meeting its priority to give children the best start in life, as set out in the Health and Wellbeing Strategy and delivered by the Children and Young People's Partnership. You will see at 5.8 the provision for the 0 to 5 and at 5.19 the provision for the 5 to 19. Provision includes measurement, weight, tooth care, as well as emotional wellbeing support. The procurement timetable is outlined at 5.38 and the recommendations are outlined at 3, which seeks approval to procure the revised service.
Thank you, Maureen. Any questions or comments on the report?
Yes, I'd like to comment, Chair, because I fully support this works alongside and supports our vision for children's services. I want to particularly reference 522, 523 and 524. So the services will be also integrated into a wider delivery of children and young people's services as part of the Wakefield Families Together programme. Wakefield have agreed to establish collaborative arrangements to lead children and young people's health and wellbeing services by the appointment of a service director for children's health and wellbeing. And I believe we have Jenny here, who is our newly appointed one. And also the outcomes at 524. Children are ensured health start in life. Children and young people's health and development is protected. Children and young people's health and development is improved. And children's health and care services are coordinated and integrated. It all fits in with the plan and vision that we have for children's services, so I think it's absolutely wonderful that we work together in this way.
Yeah, I think it's, you're absolutely right. It's almost like the old-fashioned school nurse, actually being in school and being there looking after the children, not just physically, but emotional well-being as well. So yeah, it will be a good service.
Okay, can we move the report? Thank you. Thanks, Maureen. And over to you, Maureen, for agenda item 7, procurement of the breastfeeding promotion and community peer support.
Thank you, Chair. This report seeks approval from Cabinet to procure a district-wide breastfeeding promotion and community peer support service for a period of 3 years with an option for a further 3 years. Breastfeeding saves lives, improves the health of babies and mothers and cuts healthcare costs. Breast milk helps to give babies the best possible start in life, creates an early bond and emotional attachment, and reduces the risk of common infant illness. Rates in Wakefield, however, are very low at 49% of babies being breastfed. Nationally, we're up at 67%. And women living in the most deprived areas have the lowest breastfeeding rates, with young mothers, particularly under 20, being less likely to breastfeed. The main aims of the service are to ensure women and their partners are empowered and informed to initiate and continue breastfeeding. Targeted support for those least likely to initiate and to continue breastfeeding, and facilitate positive environments for breastfeeding. New mums will be supported with information and support at antenatal and postnatal stages. There will be a breastfeeding support groups 24/7, 365 days a year, helpline, social media and peer support. The recommendation is at 3, and it is that the Cabinet approve the procurement of a district-wide breastfeeding promotion and community peer support service.
Thank you, Warren.
Just to say, Maureen, I really welcome this, particularly the support groups that go along with it. I know breastfeeding is obviously a massive advantage for the child, but it is also extremely difficult for the mother. And when you've got multiple kids and in today's society, how much you've got on, I think it is, people don't realise how challenging it is to actually breastfeed. I know my mum really struggled with their 4th child to keep on top of it. So I think those groups will be absolutely fantastic. And I think, yeah, that's a low number at the minute compared to the national. Let's get that up there and let's be on the national average. Fantastic.
Yeah, I do think we need to, I think a few years ago we did breastfeeding friendly places, and I think that's something that we actually need to resurrect. It's easy to forget, and the stickers that we put on windows are easily taken off or they fade, and I think it's something that we need, probably Margaret and I need to pursue, the breastfeeding friendly places, and that will encourage, hopefully, new and young mums to give that, breast milk is the thing that the baby needs, certainly for the first 6 months at the very least. It is hard for young women to do that, but I think we do need to encourage it.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Michael says as well. I was always told as a mother, rest is best, and I think that is the message we have to get across. And you're right, Maureen, I think I attended a meeting recently, and one of the problems is the normalisation of it, people accepting that when a mother's feeding, it is a natural thing to do, even in a public place, instead of being pushed into some toilet somewhere. And I think you have mentioned it in the report on Agenda 51, and I think it is that normalisation of it, who find, young mothers especially, find it unacceptable.
Okay, can we do the report? Thank you, Maureen. On to item 8, we've got the Wakefield Housing Plan 2021 annual
Thank you, Councillor. So this is a summary briefing of the second report of the Wakefield Housing Plan, which was launched in 2019 and runs to 2020. And it's an annual progress report that I wish to bring to you today. We have a strong local housing offer, and this continues to play an amazing role to stimulate our economy and well-being. The Council implemented an immediate response to challenges of COVID-19. We instigated an immediate challenges of COVID-19 in terms of the housing in 2020, and some of this has continued into 2021. But under such challenging circumstances, we have made great work and delivered some amazing successes, and more will be delivered next year. If you remember, there are three themes to this housing plan. The first theme is more homes, and we have delivered 1,264 new homes against the local housing needs measured by central government of 970. Within that total, we built 152 affordable homes, including some specialist provision, and with the private rented sector, housing site pipelines are now being progressed and are being brought to the fore so we can all see where they are. And also at City Fields housing development, the council's land there has been brought forward to planning stage to bring more affordable housing to marketplace. Under theme 2, under better homes, you will see in the report that we've engaged with and we have retrofitted with our residents 123 households with improved heating systems and invested £2.7 million into this funding. You will also see that we've been working in certain parts of the city centre. Primrose Hill has just been completed, and we've carried out 215 inspections of properties, ensuring that people in rented properties are living in places that are fit for them. And then under theme 3, sustainable communities, we've been doing some amazing work supporting our residents. Our Money Smart programme continues to provide essential economic wellbeing help and has supported over 260 residents with complex monetary and debt problems. And this is ongoing and will continue. And our partnership with the credit union in Leeds has engaged with 756 new members with 933 loans being issued across the district. And this is helping our residents to survive during these difficult times. This is an amazing report, considering that we've been in the height of a worldwide pandemic. And I hope that you will read it through and take it in, because there's some real good news stories in there. And with that, I recommend the report to Cameron.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah, I agree. This is a really excellent report. Some very good work going on in the service. I think, from my point of view, it's really encouraging to see so many homes being retrofitted with solar, and got £2 million worth of work carried out to help tackle food poverty and address the climate emergency. So it's one agenda where the council's priorities are really coming together. Have we any questions or comments for that? Okay, can we read the report? Move on to the UK Community Renewal Fund. Back to you, Graham.
Thank you. So, this is a fund that's been offered by central government and as part of the Levelling Up Fund across the UK. And the West Yorkshire Combined Authority, WICA, is the lead authority on this. So we are seeking permission to accept funding should our applications be successful. And if successful, these applications will bring into Wakefield Council a maximum of circa £900,000, which would enable us to undertake projects for the benefit of the Wakefield districts and ultimately our residents. If the applications are successful, in total or in part, with central government, funding will pass to WICA, who will then give the funds directly to Wakefield Council. This report is intended to ensure that the necessary approvals and delegations are in place in order to allow the Council to act promptly to accept the funding and to proceed with delivery and evaluation in line with the funding requirements. This is required due to the short timeline for the delivery of these projects under the funds. Option 1 outlines what we wish this report to do and what we hope the money will deliver. There are 3 strands to this: economic growth and sustainability of Wakefield's microtowns, and they're listed there. But it's worth pointing out that these microtowns, which are Crofton, Horley, Featherstone, Nottingham, Normanton, Ossett and South Kirby, play a very important part in the economic well-being of our district. There's the Go Green strand, which is developing a curriculum for the future, so people understand where we're going and what is needed to be done. And this will provide skills for future, working in partnership with Wakefield College. And then the final strand is a better future post-COVID, to allow our communities to develop, to empower communities in the Wakefield district, which will have positive impacts on our residents. This programme has been put into place by central government and is part of the Levelling Up agenda, as I said earlier. And the projects will need to align with one of those 3 themes as I've just outlined. We've put forward some good schemes and hopefully we'll be successful. And hopefully we'll be able to take the money from government with a big smile on our face and get these projects delivered across the district, helping our residents in a post-COVID world.
Thank you, Gary.
No, it's just a comment. Obviously, I welcome anything that's going to bring funding into our micro centres, and it's lovely to see at least one report during my last 16 years that mentions part of my ward, so I welcome that. I think we are actually looking forward to working with your team, if we get it, to see what we can do to improve the little high street that we have in Crofton. Thank you.
Yes, I welcome this report as well. Could I just ask though, on agenda page 107.510, when you're identifying the vision, will this be working with the local communities to identify what they want as well?
Yes, exactly. There will be engagement with local communities, elected members, and anybody that has a positive impact on the way that our communities develop. It's important that we talk to people and understand their needs so that we can bring forward plans that will satisfy as many people as possible.
Okay, can we move on? remediation works. Again, do that.
So this report is to highlight the work that is needed in Potiphar Park in relation to the lake. Potiphar Park is a significant attraction within the district, housing the racecourse as well as the newly completed Aspire Sports Centre and leisure facilities. It's a host of It's a huge green space with a host of green activities and wellbeing activities. And the Friends of Potiphar Park have been a very patient and supportive group in the process of the work that's been carried out in there. The former boating lake is of central importance within this park and provides a habitat for wildlife, waterfowl and fish, and it's a valuable commodity which attracts collaboration with Pontefract Anglers Association as well as being the focus of health and wellbeing benefits for residents and visitors to the district. This report brings forward a plan to invest a significant amount of money into the protection of the banking of this lake. This is another report that shows that Wakefield Council is investing money across the whole district, investing money in our parks and investing money in places where residents can see a positive difference. The financial implications are to invest a total of £1.3 million into the banking of this lake, which will prepare it for the future and ensure that this park, and this lake specifically, has a place in Pontefract well into the future. With that, I'm on the point.
Yeah, I really welcome this report as well. Getting more money going into our park, so that £1.3 million this time is excellent to see, and hopefully we'll make some real improvements there. More improvements.
Yeah, I think Potiphar Park now is becoming the place to go with the Aspire, with the racecourse, with the lovely walk around the lake and the walk around the racecourse. And I think to invest this to make it safe for the visitors to the park and to make it part of the attraction of the park is absolutely wonderful, and I welcome the report.
Yes, welcome report, obviously. Last weekend I was in Queen's Park in Castleford. Just seen actual transformation into Queen's Park, into Potiphar Park, into Falls Park and perhaps in Wakefield. After years of austerity, of course, it's good to see us put the investment back into the next spaces. We've seen during lockdown how many people have been using them. So I just think I really welcome Darren. It's good to see with that investment into Potiphar, into a much loved asset in the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, can we read the report? We move on to the non-financial reports. The item 11 would have been moved by the leader. If their absence, I will move the financial health report for period 4 the financial year. So this report provides Cabinet with the latest budget position for the Council for this financial year. It's a forecast marginal underspend of £336,000. The breakdown by directorate is shown on table 1 of the agenda, which is page 24, and there is more information in the body of the report. I think it's fair to say COVID is still having an impact on the Council's finances through lost income and increased spending, and that's creating a net pressure of around £500,000 over and above that, which we recognised when we set the budget back in February. Section 9 of the report also provides some summary performance information. The recommendation is that Cabinet are asked to note the forecast revenue budget position for the Council for 2021-22 and also to note the performance information in Section 9. Any comments or questions? Can we read that report? Item 12, we've got the capital programme outturn and Q1 capital programme update. Again, I'll read this report in his absence. So the Council's capital programme is an important part of investment around our district, and this report provides information for Cabinet on the final outturn position for the capital programme for the last financial year, and also with the latest position on the Council's capital programme through to 2024-2025. The report highlights a number of significant projects at agenda page 144, and members can see the full range of projects identified within the programme at Appendix 1. The recommendation is that Cabinet has to note the final outturn position and funding for the capital programme, and also progress in the delivery of the capital programme at the end of June for the current financial year. Members are also asked to note the updated 4-year capital programme as summarised in Table 4 in Appendix 1. okay with that? Any questions or comments? Okay, colleagues. Move on to the Treasury Management Report for the year ending 31st of March 2021.
Thanks. So this report provides positive assurances that the activities of the Chief Finance Officer has complied with the strategy and policies approved by Council. That effective Treasury management ensures that the Council makes the best use of its cash flows and achieves the right balance between borrowing and investment. The capital expenditure was 53.45, which was financed by borrowing, grants and contributions of capital receipts, and a summary report is in table 1. Overall, the Treasury Management budget was underspent by 1.4 million, which is set out in table 2. Following the Cabinet report, we're going to audit and governance, and that fulfil the committee's oversight role. So Cabinet is asked to note the assurances provided by the report in respect of Treasury Management activities in accordance with the agreed strategy for 2021.
Michelle, any questions or comments? Okay, we agree with that. Move on to item 14. We've got the risk management framework, including the risk appetite statement.
The risk management framework is refreshed annually and provides the overarching policy and guides the way that risks are managed. A suite of supporting documents, including the appetite statement, policy guidance, and risk provided from support managers and officers. The framework and appetite statement are approved by Cabinet and presented to audit and governance for the information as part of the committee's assurance role. Key amendments to the framework are the inclusion of a process to undertake a deep dive analysis of key risks to gain further assurance that the risk is being effectively managed and mitigated, strengthening the arrangements by which we capture, manage and report on project-related risks and high-risk projects. And the key amendment to the appetite statement is the strengthening of the guidance related to programme and project management. So Cabinet is asked to agree the risk framework and risk appetite statement.
Michelle, any questions or comments on that? Can we agree? Right. Thank you. And that concludes this morning's meeting.